We are not going to let the work of our ancestors go down in vain. We are part of the founders of America. The only superpower on earth is America. The greatest power on earth is America. We have something to do with that. In your village, they make decisions, all the Ogbe vote. That's democracy. We started that, and we helped in bringing that to America. With the farming, the iron work, Ezuzu people, started iron work since 1950, before Jesus Christ and everybody was born.
I'm John Avoli. I'm the Executive Director of the Frontier Culture Museum of Virginia. The museum represents a period of history from 1650 to 1850. It represents the early immigrants of the Scots-Irish, the English, and the Germans. We actually removed homes from their respective countries, disassembled them, brought them back here, and resurrected them. And the missing link of all of this was that we also understood, as part of the Western frontier, there were enslaved Africans here who made significant contributions to the community here. And the board at the museum asked us to begin a research project to find out who those people were. And we did. We hired Professor Jack Onjuku and a lot of other consultants. And by that process, we found that about 42% of the enslaved Africans in the Virginia colonies were the Igbo people. So we began our research project in Nigeria and actually located this compound outside of Owerri, which we visited, and we asked the man who owned it that we wanted to bring this to Virginia and put it in a museum, and he said okay.
I'm Dr. Nwachukwu Anakwenze. I'm fully titled Chief. I'm the Chairman of Board of Presidents of Council of Igbo States, an organization that brings all the different Igbo states together. So this is the Obi. That's where the chiefs gather together and pray. It's usually the chiefs and the men. That's where they gather and they meet the priests. They meet with the chiefs, and that's where they pray. This is like the temple.
My name is Patricia Phillips. I am a volunteer here and have been for almost 8 years. This particular compound has a husband and 2 wives and lots of children. Polygamy was the order of the day. There were certain roles for women and certain roles for men.
This is a house of one wife, this is the house of the second wife. Then he stays in the middle and the 2 wives stays on both sides of him.
The man never entered her home. In many ways, I think that that was kind of separate but equal. She had her own kitchen, and if he took on another wife, he would have to build her a house, he would have to provide her a kitchen, and the other women, I'm sure, would have had to have had a say in the woman that was chosen to be a third wife.
The best way to get labor to work on a farm is to have multiple wives and to have an abundance of children. That was a style, and it was a good style at the time period. Generation upon generation will live in this compound. This man may have his in-laws here, may have his parents, and the children were children of all the wives. They took care of each other. As the saying goes, it takes a village to educate and to create a child, and also to bring one up.
Today I'm working on this house because it has a lot of very deep, deep cracks. And in the winter when it freezes, those cracks can be very, very wide and deep. You have to patch all the cracks first, and then you can put like an outer coating of mud to make it smooth and look even.
The Igbo people were notoriously well adapted to being people of great ironworks as well as blacksmiths, so this is the forge that he used to make his implements.
Ironworks was fully developed long before the coming of the Europeans. The Igbos were producing their farm implements They produce their hoe, their machetes, the spear they use in killing animals.
We discovered these metals that can be used, and we could use them to manufacture things which will help us in survival.
It was the Igbos that knows how to manage iron ores and produce it into steel. And they took all those knowledge and experiences into America.
We're now going to the garden, and the garden was an integral part of the Igbo compound. He is growing okra for his family. Here he has beans, but more importantly, he is a yam farmer, and these yams were to sustain his family for the entire year. The more yams that he grew, the more prosperous that he was.
In the village, it's self-sufficient. You cook, you go to the backyard, you get enough things to make your food. It's like Pyramid Hill where we plant our yam. Then the stake is put in here so that it will climb around. This tree goes around, it rolls up and go all the way. This is like typical village. This is how we farm.
I will call on everybody here at the sound of my voice to pause in remembrance of our ancestors who paved this way for us, who dreamed for this day. A moment of silence.
In 1600s, our people came here. They didn't come by church, brother. They were dragged in. When they came, they make the most of it. We're looking at evidence of their imprints.
Have a handshake for all of us. In remembrance of those who came here, we are connecting. This reconnection, when you go home, anything you touch, feel reconnected.
We want to take this opportunity to reach out to our brothers and sisters throughout the Americas and even beyond, to look into their history, to look into their DNA and find their true identity. Our goal is to connect everyone to their original heritage so that they know where they came from. They know their roots and they can connect to it. So we're inviting them to please go out there and do their genetic testing, find out if they're of Igbo lineage, and then we can help bring them together and connect them back home to their kin and kindred.
We have an affiliated organization that's led by Chinyere, Njoku herself Igbo. They do DNA tests and they find out who's Igbo, and then they bring them to us for our high priest, the king, to bless them and pray for them, using our white chalk to wash away the evil of slavery and all of that. It's a big moment for them because they're back, they're restored. Before they were wandering around confused, who am I don't know who I am. Now they know who they are.
Everything that we had, everything that we were, everything that we knew was wiped out. Our names were taken away. Our language is taken away. Our heritage. Our mind was taken away. And many of us who are on a search for identity, a search for roots. So coming here is a way to celebrate our reuniting, our healing, our reconnection, reinforming our common heritage and our common traditions.
I am Igbo. I am here to bring other DNA-tested African descendants that have learned their ancestry back home. It is our responsibility to make sure that we connect with our families, to learn where we come from. Because you see, we know how to get there, we just didn't know where to go to. So whenever our Igbo sisters and brothers begin to DNA test, and if you match our DNA, then that means you're my cousin. Yes. You're my uncle. Yes. You're my auntie. Yes. And now, all you have to do is point me in the right direction because we're coming home.
want you to come to the Igbo village. This is the place you can come. It's like a center, a temple. You will see the richness of African culture in agriculture and technology. You come here, you see who we really are. I know a lot of people have been misinformed and miseducated, but come here and see who we are. And we've made a lot of contribution to the good living of this world for all people.